I am Comfort Kamarelo, Mama Vulo. As usual, Mama Vulo Sula na some mateladis hopavanna matolo. Today, with me, I will be with a writer, a scenarist, Mr. Daniel Langa. You may please welcome him. Mr. Langa, how are you?
I'm good.
Perfectly well. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Could you kindly please tell the audience who we have here?
My name is Daniel Langa. I'm a screenplay writer, I'm a director, I'm a producer. I'm an actor as well, even though I don't act often, but I'm an actor, yeah.
Perfectly fine. It's nice to have actors here, because I thought you were just a mere writer.
No.
Okay, I do have 5 concepts that I want to ask you about. All of them, they do revolve around your life.
Okay.
You are comfortable and ready to answer those questions, perhaps?
Yeah.
Perfectly great. My first question to you is, you did tell us who Daniel Langa is, but you never told us where you are from, because most actors, most writers, we usually assume they are either from backgrounds that are not, I'm going to use the word poor, like poor backgrounds. Usually we expect writers and also actors to be people of value classes.
That's true.
Where do you come from?
I come from Mukopane, Makwelering, but I was not born in Makwelering, I was born in Bakenberg. It's a tiny village. I think it's the one that groomed me, you know. I think having the background of growing up in a village and in a township and combining the two, I think that is the experience that made me to be who I am today. So yeah, I come from Mukopane, Makwelering, Zone 2.
So it's a township, you're from Gazi.
You know, yes.
I like that because I'm also from township. I'm not from towns or anywhere. I'm from Gazi also.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. The first concept that we are going to talk about is your career and industry journey. What inspired you to pursue a career in film and television industry? Why are you in this industry?
I'm gonna go back a little bit in I think it was in 2016. I read a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So that book made me to become a motivational speaker, motivational writer. But then I realized that I'm not reaching people the way I want to reach them. And then I also remember that in grade 10, I used to write short stories. That's where the whole thing began. That's when I said to myself, I think I can use stories to create awareness. I can use stories to just put whatever perspective that I think I have out there to the people. So that's when I started writing screenplays, but of course with the help of Bulowataba. In 2021, I did NQF Level 4, film and television production under Bulowataba Media Group. I think it is the one that taught me how to do filmmaking in a professional way, you know, because then I was just writing without structure, shooting without structure. I didn't even know that there's something called a director or a producer. I just knew that there's production. You just write, shoot, edit, and then you're done. So that's where everything began for me.
Perfect. So now that you have mentioned that you started at grade 10, you say?
Yes.
How long have it been? That seems quite a journey. How long is it? Now it's 2026.
It's 2026. So in grade 10, I was writing short stories. I was not writing screenplays. It was merely short stories. It's like writing a novel. And the writing is different because when you're writing a screenplay, um, somebody once said to me, write something that the camera can capture, you know. But when you're writing a novel, you know, you can say the sun hits the window and the window splash with something, you know. But when it comes to screenplay, you need to regulate that kind of imagination because the question is the camera going to capture that unless if you can use green screen or whatever that you can use. But you just have to learn how to limit it. So yeah, the journey has been nice. The journey has been amazing. I've learned a lot. I don't want to lie. I've learned a lot, and actually looking at what I was writing, it is something that we go through in South Africa. You know, a lot is happening in this country. So I wanted to write about something that we're not aware of. Somebody also once said to me, write what you know, write what you don't know, and write what you want to know, right? That's how I categorize my writing, right? I don't write only what I know. I can research something, right? That is writing what I don't know, but through research, then I'm able to know that, you know. It's like right now, if I need to write a story about a child who's suffering from kidney failure, you know, I know little or almost to nothing when it comes to kidney and so on and so forth. But through research, that's when you know and you become so. So writing is one of the, it's underrated, but it's one of the best skill ever for me.
But okay, do tell me, most people say they write to share the news. That's one. Second, they write to educate. Third, mostly they write to solve problems. You are writing to do what? What is it that you do in writing?
I write to create awareness. For me, I write to create awareness. And also to say, this is how I view the world, you know. This is how I think the world should be, right? For example, let's say maybe the world says it is nice for men to live like this, right? And then I will come with a story that says it is nice, but do you consider this and this and this and that, you know? So my stories are all about awareness, and mostly or oftentimes something that we're not actually or often aware of. Those are kind of stories that I love, you know, things that are so undermined, things that are so underrated. Those are kind of things that I like to write about. You know, recently I was working on a story about a man who was sexually abused, you know, and right now he can't become intimate with his partner, you know. So it's rare. We don't often see stories like that, you know, about men suffering. So those are the kind of stories that I like to tell.
So you are questioning the costumes, I see.
Yeah, I'm questioning the tradition. I'm questioning the global values. I'm questioning the principles. I'm questioning whether the way we are looking at life, patriarchy, everything. I'm questioning everything when I write.
Good writer then. Okay, now going back to the film and television industry, is there a particular film, television show or a project that has shaped you? Who has been with you throughout your journey?
All right, I'm going to start with the show. I think that this show really changed the entire, my writing trajectory, changed everything. It's called The Good Karma Hospital. The Good Karma Hospital. Most people don't know about this show, and I don't blame them because it aired, I think, not for a very long time on SABC3, you know. It dealt on a subject about GBV, but in a manner that showed the victim having a choice to stay in a relationship that is abusive, you know. So I loved that show because it really painted the world in a realistic manner, you know. And that is, for me, that's very powerful, you know, because I think sometimes or most of the time we like to glorify things when it comes to storytelling. But that world, that story rather, it really painted the picture and something that I've never really expected. It's called The Good Karma Hospital. I looked for it, I can't find it right now, you know. But one day perhaps I'm gonna find it.
You say SABC3. Do people still watch SABC3 though?
It was back then. I think it was in. I think it was 2022. It's not long ago. 2022 is not long ago. I watched it. I think it was almost at the end of the season, because I think 2 months after that, when I went to SABC3, I couldn't find it, and I was so much disappointed, because it carries, you know, wonderful message and beautiful values for both male and women.
All right, you did tell me where your journey began. Were you someone who used to excel in essays, perhaps because of most writers who started at younger age? There are those learners who maybe they were excelling in essays. I think that's how they knew how to write until maybe 3 to 4 pages. Were you one of the students, learners who used to excel in essays?
Not really. I think but I will push my imagination to as far as I could. That's what I did, just to push my imagination for as far as I could. So, just to give you a little bit of background, you know, when I was young, I was one of those kids where, you know, those kids where even the parents doesn't think that you can even finish matric. You know, I can say I was one of those kids, because I was blank. You know, a lot of things I didn't really understand what's going on, but through reading and engaging in reading, I think reading is the only thing that changed my life. You know, but when it comes to essays, I was not really that wise when it comes to them, but I just pushed my imagination based on what I know and what I can put on the paper. That was the main thing that I could do that time.
Okay, so it's more like your creativity stems from reading, more of reading.
True. Yeah, my creativity comes from reading, and reading sparked my curiosity rather, right? Then now you go to TikTok to learn something. Then now you go to YouTube to learn something. Then now you go to Instagram or whatever. But that comes from reading, you know. They often say there is what you call a destiny helper. You know, somebody come into your life and change your life in whatever direction. I believe for me it was reading books.
You never had that kind of help?
I did, but later in life. But when I was in varsity and high school, it was only me and reading, you know. Yeah.
So it was only you. Were there people who were helping you? Perhaps maybe you will want to say that it takes a village to raise a child. Was your community supportive? Were people in your village, did they know who Langa is? What does he do?
You know, I think we come from the society where we just, everybody's minding their own business, man. I think this is the kind of community that we come from. You know, if we see a child doing very good with soccer, we just say, okay, that is the matter of him and his parents, you know, whether the parents take that child to academy or to whatever, you know. So I think that's the kind of society where we come from. And I understood that from an early age, because I was once in modeling. I used to do modeling. I used to teach models how to walk and how to walk, how to answer questions. And when I started the modeling journey, I had the perception that people want to help. And it turns out that I was wrong, right? And somebody will even tell me that, do you know that in that house there's a millionaire? Do you know that in that house there's a millionaire? You know? But in my mind, that really troubled me, you know? But why are these people not helping, you know? So, but then I realized that, okay, this is the kind of society that we come from. It's so unfortunate. It doesn't have to be this way. We need to support each other. Even when somebody's not your sister by blood or your brother by blood, you can still help them, you know. But I don't think we come from that society, and I don't think the society nurtures that. It is when you grow up, when you go to varsity or whatever, you realize, oh, okay, I think I'm good, I'm great, and then now people start to see you, because now you can value yourself. But when you're still young, it's not. It does happen, but it's rare. It's rare, yeah.
It's rare.
A lot. It's rare.
Meaning that we have normalized saying that blood is thicker than water.
Yeah. Even I think we know how to say it, but we don't know how to implement it. You know, because when we say blood is thicker than water, right now your brother should be knowing what you're doing. Your mother should be knowing what you're doing.
Correct.
You know, but right now I can go home. My mother doesn't even know that I'm a filmmaker. You know, but we still say blood is thicker than water. Maybe we are talking about in terms of food, in terms of clothes,
benefits.
Yeah, in terms of that only. But when it comes to dreams and aspirations, I don't think it is that thick.
You spoke of varsity, and when I did your research, I noticed that you have NQF level. Is it level
4 and 5?
Could you tell me about that? Walk me through that.
Okay, NQF level 4 started in 2021 under Bolobatava, but we were studying in Mkopane. It was a 3-month program, but it taught me a lot about professional writing, professional editing, professional directing, producing, so on and so forth. NQF level 5, it was online, you know, and luckily through it, the CEO, Mrs. Malatolo Bosman, applied for NAVF, you know. So because we are part of NQF level 5 developing documentaries that were funded, then that's when I know that, okay, professional filmmaking is this way. Because sometimes when you never got funding, you just do things the way you want to do them. But until you get funding, then now you realize that, okay, this is professional filmmaking. You need to write a 20-page treatment. You must submit this and this and this and that. A lot of things, you know. You realize that hey, filmmaking is very, very hard. It's very, very hard, yeah.
So, any college, any university apart from Bolobatava Academy?
Yes, I went to University of Limpopo. Initially, I applied for or to study media, but in second year I switched to communication studies because I found communication to be, which is ironic because right now I'm into media. So I found communication to be practical, to be, it explained things that we can see on a normal basis every day when we live, you know. So from 2015 up to 2015 to 2017, finished the record time. Then that's when now I started doing modeling and other things. But yeah, it was from 2015 to 2017. It was a nice experience, by the way, you know. Renting, living alone, teach you a lot about responsibility, teaches you things, teaches you how to follow your conscience, you know, because now you realize what is right and what is wrong. You don't just follow the crowd because now your mother is not there or your father is not there. So it taught me a lot.
Being a student of communication, especially at the University of Limpopo, have you came across people who share the same passion as you
There are many. So it started like this. So when I was doing my second year, I've met a dearest friend of mine called Volker, you know, a visionary indeed, you know. So it is that person who but he's into more strategic branding, business branding. But I think that's when that's when I've learned to master talking to people, and that's where I think I got the directing skill from, to strategize, to sit down, to approach companies, because it's very important to approach companies and pitch and do whatever. So Volca, PAM, there are a lot that really changed my life when I look at my days or my era at University of Limpopo.
So, okay, for most people, especially writers like yourself, script writers, filmmakers, of course, you are people who wear many hats. You have many talents. You do lots of things. What have kept you in this industry for this long time? What can you say this kept me?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know actually. Okay, let me say it like this. It starts from who you are. It's either you love this industry or you don't.
So it's love.
And it's not just love. Like it's crazy passion. It's I don't even know how to measure that passion, because during the time of my past productions, I used to put the equipment inside the wheelbarrow, and then I will go to the set to shoot, So it takes that level of passion or craziness to get wherever that you, or whatever level that you want to get, So, but first it starts from who are you, Who are you? Are you somebody who can thrive under pressure? Are you somebody when they say so and so, who's your main character, is not gonna come anymore, you give up? Or are you somebody who will postpone? Or are you somebody who will write a script for 3 years and never produce it? Or are you somebody who's always waiting for inspiration? Or are you somebody? So it starts from who are you, So I've always been somebody who likes to do things fast. Even when I write, I like to write fast because I understand the human mind, how it operates. If you and I right now can agree on a feature film, 3 weeks from now, I will give you the script. It's not done, it's not polished, it's not perfect. But for the mere fact that it's done at that draft, it gives my mind a satisfaction, right? And that gives me the drive to go back to that script, right? So that is why when I do this filmmaking, I like to do things fast, so that when I lose that spark or that passion at that time, at least I'm finished, right? 2 weeks when I go back to look at that script, then I say, okay, this is good, because that's how I gauge my scripts. I write, and then 2 weeks I come back and look at it, and then I will know, because now I'm coming with a fresh mind. I will know that this story still needs a lot of work.
Okay. Now I am going to go to your personal growth and legacy. That's our second concept, of course. How do you maintain your energy, passion, and drive in the ever-evolving industry? This ever-evolving industry.
I think we need to kill complaints. There are a lot of complaints in our industry. I know we come from Limpopo. I know we complain about resources, about a lack of government support, so on and so forth. I think if we can reduce the complaints and find ways to work with others, that's how we're gonna grow. If you go to LinkedIn, I'm telling you, and then you look at what people are doing, and then you sit down and say, I want to start this thing. You text that person, send that person a DM and say, my name is blah, 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 blah. How about we start this thing? I'm telling you, a great project comes from that, But if we're going to wait for the government or somebody to recognize us, because to start with, the industry is very small. It's very, very, very small, and and it's still a baby, you know. You can't compare it with Hollywood, you know. When you are looking at South African film industry, it's still a baby, still growing, still being nurtured, it's still finding its feet, you know. And those at the government, they don't even know, you know. I remember I when people ask me what do I do, I say I'm a filmmaker. They say,
what is that?
What is
they
that?
want to know.
We shoot a movie. Like, they don't understand, like, or somebody can make a living actually out of this, let alone you doing it.
But are you making a living out of it? Since you mentioned about
Making a living, okay, it is two ways, and making a living is hard. And somebody once said to me, it's art making money in this industry. It's art, A-R-T.
Okay, let me get few questions from the audiences and see what they have to say. Do I have any questions from the audience?
Yes, we have one.
Okay, my name is Carol. I wanted to ask that as a writer or an actor, do you have any financial advice for upcoming actors? Because there's been a recent trend of actors currently they're asking for donations from their fans. So I want to know if you have any financial advice
For the writers.
And actors too.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the writers. The South African industry, the way it is, we're not at that level where, for example, I can write a script and sell it to someone, unless it's a TV concept, whatever, the producer picks it up. But in America, it happens a lot, you know. You can write a script and sell it to somebody, you know. But in South Africa, that doesn't happen a lot. So the main thing is that you're not losing anything, right? In terms of finance, you're writing. You can join Writers Guild of South Africa to improve yourself. You can also whatever that you wrote, you can commission it and license it, and which is easier said than done. I admit, it's easier said than done. To the actors is, I think we have to start with the system, the way it is. A lot of actors are complaining about royalties. They're saying we've been part of Mzini or whatever show, right? They say we're not getting royalties, but I've been part of this show for a very, very long time. From the producer perspective, I kind of understand, right? I kind of understand why, because the producers are also suffering, you know. Things are not as straightforward to them. So if the government can say, how do we support this industry fully? That's my perspective, you know. How can we support this industry fully, you know? How can we best support this production? You can look at Pimville. It is such a sad story that it had to be cancelled. A show like that, it had great potential, you know. And the fact that it had to be cancelled because of lack of money, it's disaster.
Another question?
My name is Leah Makova, and my question was that with the aspect of the narratives that you put out or you've learned from, like you've spoken about how diverse you write and the topics that you speak about or you touch on and the ones that you like are somewhat controversial and kind of underground, so not a lot of people know about it, you know. So my question per se on that was, with those things that you research on and that you work with, do you agree with most of them? For example, the one of gender-based violence and a man can be a victim within gender-based violence. Do you agree with them?
Absolutely. I think going back to how we were raised, the culture that has been enforced on us, you know. But I think it's more than just believing them. It's also looking at your life and saying, me, as Daniel, what are some of the things perhaps that I also suffer from that I can't tell somebody else, you know. And having that, you will know that I understand why that person is not talking about that. I understand why men are not feeling comfortable to go to police station and say, this and this and this and this happened to me, you know. So those are some of the things. It is we have to change the culture. We have to really push the narrative that as men or as people we need to express ourselves to the best of our ability. Thank you.
Any other?
Hello, my name is Mama Daniel Langa. And Mr. Langa, I wanted to ask this. Looking back at your younger self, what advice would you give to Daniel, who was still searching for his path?
Woo, okay. What advice? I think the advice that I will give to the older Daniel or to the younger Daniel is that everything is going to be okay. Because firstly, when you come from a place where what you do is not famous, hey, there are so many things that you're saying to yourself, you know. Am I doing the right thing? Do I need to move to Joburg? Do I have to do this thing? Do I have to do that? You know. So the best thing that's to tell yourself is that everything is going to be all right, you know. There are, perhaps when I'm writing a story and then I'm in a village at Bakkenberg, there's somebody called Mama Bolo, you know. Mama Bolo is sitting wherever he is registering a production, and that production is going to fund script writers, you know. So I think God works in mysterious ways. You can't just say, I'm in this place, that is why I can't move on or I can't achieve whatever that I want, you know. The most important thing is just to believe in yourself, and I'm telling you, you will see that the route now will just start getting wider and wider.
One last question. What message would you like to leave with young dreamers watching today?
Life is how you see it. I don't want to say life is hard. I think I can say life is how you see it. Somebody says, if you think you can make it, you're right. And if you think you can't make it, you're also right. So life, it is how you see it, you know. If we're going to sit around and we're going to complain, we're going to say, we don't have this, we don't have that, let's learn to use what we have. Let's learn to use what we have to achieve or to be where we want to be or where we want to go. That is the most important thing, you know, because we can't expect other people to make us happy, you know. Let government funding find you on the way, right? Let whatever opportunity that comes to you find you on the way. But don't stop and say, I want to see proof before I can. It's like, even the Bible says it, you know. You must walk by faith, not by sight, you know. And walking by faith, it means you need to do your work, even in the dark tunnel, hoping that at the end, the tunnel is bright. It's like the paradox of life. Life is so, it works with belief. For me, I think it works with belief and be self-compassionate and passionate in what you do.
You know, I enjoyed how you answered the question because actually 2 questions were relating to your professional self, and the last question was your personal self. And the advices that you gave came with a motivation on them. So I really appreciate that. I like that.
Yeah, man, that's life.
This is, I'm going to say, this is where I think I should say thank you because I've had enough. And also I believe our audiences have also gathered the information that they might need. For those who want to pursue in writing, they know where to start. And also, I take it that you are saying we must acknowledge where we come from, know who you are. That's your motivation. That's the weight of the day, knowing who we are.
Know who you are, believe in yourself, and don't expect that you'll always be right. That's always something that I've learned when you're writing scripts. Have somebody to look at it, because sometimes you'll write something you think is cool and somebody looks at it and say, I don't understand, I don't get it. So don't be afraid to just give it to people who will give you a meaningful feedback. Because sometimes I can show it to my friend and my friend, this is a good story, but where is it good? Do you love the exciting incident? Do you like the first act or the second act, or what do you love about this? So that is the most important thing. Have meaningful people in your life. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, Mr. Langa, I understand. It is my understanding that you have a precious time. Let us not waste it any further today here. I am going to release you so you can write more stories, as you say. Could you please thank our audiences at home for watching this, for being here today?
This is the melting pot of knowledge. I believe that through this beautiful conversation and the next episodes, you have to stay tuned so that you can perform at the peak of your ability in whatever that you want to do in life. So thank you very much for staying with us until we meet again.
We the Cash Talk Show. We the Cash Talk Show. We the Talk Show. We the Cash Talk Show. We the Talk Show. We the Cash Talk Show. We not just talking, we bring you something that you really need. We the Talk Show. We the Cash Talk Show. We not just talking, we bring you something that you really need.